They told me it's a standard contract. No changes can be made. That is BS. That is BS. Every contract is standard until it's not. So every contract is negotiable. Even academic contracts. I hear people say, well, it's academic, so there's no wiggle room. There is wiggle room. And I'm going to show you some examples in a minute, but I negotiate contracts from, huge multi-specialty private practice, private equity, community hospitals, academic hospitals. We negotiate contracts all across the spectrum. So when I hear it's a standard contract, that tells me the physician, one, doesn't know what they're talking about, or two, is too uncomfortable to actually ask the question to advocate for themselves. So if I hear you say that, I'm going to call you out on it, but I hear it every week. The other one that I often hear is, it's a good offer, so I don't see a need to negotiate. I'll just tell you a quick story. Last week, I had an orthopedic subspecialist call me. And she said, first thing she said when we got on the call, she said, hey, Ethan, I want to have an expert review my contract, but I don't want to negotiate the salary because I think it's really good. Her salary was $650,000, which by all measures is a really good salary. And so as I tend to do, I asked more questions, got curious, and I said, well, you mentioned you didn't want to negotiate the salary. Tell me more about that. Well, I just feel like, it's enough for what I need. I don't need more. And I said, well, do you know what the range is? And she said, yeah, the range is 650 to 700. And I said, ask for 700. If they're telling you that the range is 650 to 700, ask for that. The worst they're going to do is say, nope, it's 650, take it or leave it. Okay, you're right in the same place you were to begin with. But more likely than that is they may say, well, we can't do 700, we could do 675. We could do 680. So you'd be in a better position. This physician would have been in a better position if she would have just asked for it. But there's this intimidation factor where first-time attendings are just scared to negotiate. I'm keeping it real. And so I want to challenge you as you go into your contracts, please don't just accept what they offer you because it's more than what you made in residency. It's more than what you're making in fellowship. That's not relevant. What's relevant is what are other physicians of this specialty in this care setting, in this geographic location being paid for this work. And you don't want to be the one that's being paid less. And I'll also highlight some disparities that physicians of color and women physicians specifically need to overcome. And this physician I'm talking about, she was both. She was a Black woman physician saying, I'm not going to ask for more money. And so I had to explain to her, you're already behind just by the data.